Welcome to the Salty Truth Podcast. I'm Lindsay K. Foreign, your luxury-loving, deal-closing, reinvention queen who has literally built a career off of saying the things that only other people think. Each week, I get real about ambition, relationships, money, motherhood, and what it truly means to be a powerhouse woman balancing big dreams and real life. I get the opportunity to sit down with individuals that are truly making transformations and redefining success, raising the bar and refusing to play small. So let's get cozy, grab yourself a glass of wine, martini, whatever that fabulous drink might be, hit subscribe, and baby, let's get salty. Hey Salties, welcome back to another episode of The Salty Truth. I am your host, Lindsay K. Foreign, and do I have something amazing for you today? You are going to want to stop what you are doing, listen in, because this information, I'm telling you, is valuable. I have Miss Erica Lemke with me today, sex and relationship therapist located here in Utah, and we will get started.
From the get-go, I'm going to say I'm not a therapist.
Oh,
But this is such a great conversation to have because a lot of people don't know that. So I'm actually a sex and relationship coach and also a board-certified sexologist. I'll get to that in a bit. But therapists they're more for people who are going through a lot of dysfunction, past dysfunction, processing heavy emotions, a lot of trauma. So that's kind of that role for them. And my role really is I'm taking someone who is fairly, I'm going to say healthy in quotation marks, but fairly, they've done the work to process those emotions and be able to move forward. And so my job really is to take people from where they are and helping them to really bridge the gap to the goals that they want to achieve. And so I think my role is very client-centered. It's very co-creative. It's very interactive. So I'm not saying I'm a therapist and this is what I want you to do. It's really about negotiating with my client. Well, what do you think? This is going to fit for your life. So what does this mean for you? So I love the co-creative part of it because they get to also have control. And ultimately, it's their life. So they need to have control. They need to understand, like, what do I want to do with this? And I'm not there to fix them. Some people think so, but I correct them very quickly that I'm not here to fix you.
and I like that you said, like, it's not something dysfunctional or a dysfunction or having to fix something.
Yeah.
It's going to someone's foundation and their needs are.
And empowering them that, right? And making them have that sense of responsibility and agency in their life, which I think is so incredible. Yeah.
So why don't you give us an example of maybe what you're doing or how somebody could benefit from your coaching services?
Yeah. So I have a private practice in Salt Lake. I'm virtual for the most part right now. I had bunion surgery in May last year and it was kind of a pain in the butt. So I kind of did all my client, which is great because I love the fact that I can do virtual coaching because I have clients really around the world. Sex coaching isn't what some people might think. It is talk therapy for the most part. It's not somatic work. So I don't touch people, nor do I look at them in a sexual act and instruct them on what to do. That is also not my role. I might give them instructions to do for homework, but I am neither in the room or on a Zoom call watching all of this go down. And that really freaked me out at the beginning because that's definitely that's a big violation. That's a huge boundary cross, like big time. I've changed a lot because I would kind of let things kind of like, oh, it's okay. Now I'm like, fuck no.
Yeah.
This is not the work that I do.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important to make that delineation and then say, like, this is what I do. We work from a very biopsychosocial model. I come from a background of marriage and family therapy. So this is talking. This is homework. This is, I'm going to give you a shit ton of homework and I'm not going to work harder than you are. It's also people coming to the table and wanting to do the work. And oftentimes we have to negotiate, basically saying, what do you think that I do? And what do you want me to do for you? Because I'm going to correct you. And then we're going to get to the heart of it. And then we're actually going to do the stuff that is actually going to get you to where you want to go. I had to go through all those experiences because how are you going to get any good? You have to practice.
Yeah.
And you don't master anything on the first go around, right? So I'm grateful for those experiences. I'm also grateful to realize my own worth and my value and to set really strong boundaries with my clients. I mean, with everyone in general, but in particular with my clients too, because I'm modeling that behavior for them as well, because I'm hoping that eventually that they're going to show up that way too. So it's a lot of learning. It's a lot of education that goes on.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And something we kind of discussed earlier, as we were talking, is some of the social aspect. And when it comes to sexual health and wellness and understanding your own needs, there's a lot that can go on in the psyche of feeling like it's something you shouldn't do. So how do you handle that with clients? And have you had clients you've had to coach through that?
I've had a lot of clients I've had to coach through that, and especially with clients who have come from either purity culture or just it could be religious, it could be cultural, that basically says sex is bad or sex is dirty or sex is not. You don't do any of this until you are married, and I have a lot of clients who have really had to kind of unravel their narrative, and learn from we talked about before, we certainly, all the experiences that we have to this point have informed who we are, but they also don't have to define us in a way unless we allow that. So if people have struggled with, religious shame, for example, then we really get into like, I believe that we are all sexual beings. And even I know some people are like, cringe, but I think it's true. We are sexual beings at birth.
Yeah.
We have access to our bodies 24/7. And in my world, I think if we don't know our own pleasure, we need to explore that. We need to understand what that is. And so much so that then we feel, and then here's the other layer though, to feel comfortable and brave enough to actually be able to express that to our partners.
Mm.
Because we might even understand our own pleasure, but we are so afraid to tell our partners what we like.
Yeah.
Because maybe they think we're gonna be, maybe there's something that that's kind of freaky, or I'm gonna be judged, or they're gonna say that I'm a freak, or they're gonna not want to be with me,
Yeah.
as I like a certain way of being. And I think that we need to give ourselves permission to really own and be empowered about what turns us on, what we enjoy. And I mean, why the hell not? How empowering that is for somebody to be able to say, this is what I like, and I'm actually okay, and actually celebrating the fact that I can then express that to people who I'm having sex with.
I think being able to understand how to voice that and understand what you need,
Yeah.
that definitely would have been a difficult period for me. I feel like as I've gone older and, understood things a little bit more and okay with being vulnerable and things like that. But younger, no way.
Well, and we're not taught about that.
No.
We are taught about it is preventative, it is scare tactics, because we don't want our kids having sex, right?
Yeah.
Okay, our kids are gonna grow up to be adults.
Yeah.
Sorry for y'all up there, but our kids are actual sexual beings too. They will be adults someday. We want to arm them with resources that are going to actually help them and not hinder and hurt them, right?
Yeah.
So
Real knowledge.
coming from a pleasure. So I think preventative certainly is important. We want to teach them about STIs and pregnancies and all of those things that we don't want them to have and we don't want them to get. But also, why not talk about the pleasure that they can get from, and it's not just sex, it is the whole relationship aspect of that too. It's relationship intelligence. It's being sensual. It's understanding our pleasure and knowing that our pleasure is okay. It's not a bad thing.
And not feeling bad about it. What is your outlook on supplying your children with like vibrators and things? So
That is such a great question, because when my daughter was 18, I used to do a little stint at the Blue Boutique when I was going through my program because I wanted to be knowledgeable. If anyone watched in the back room, I wanted to say, if they were wanting their first toy, the gamut.
yeah,
I tell you.
it could go.
I wanted someone to come in and be able to talk to me where they felt comfortable, that I felt comfortable talking about all this stuff. The knowledge that I got was, and the education was just absolutely amazing. So, yeah, so I actually, when my daughter turned 18, I brought her in and I talked to her about the different types and kind of figured out, like, for most of us women, probably 85 plus female bodies, we need external stimulation at orgasm. A lot of women don't know that. Still don't know that. She tells the story now, like she's like, I'm so happy my mom did that for me. Because it's taken the stigma away too of, oh my gosh, my child is a sexual being. Ugh. You know, they're gonna have sex someday. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. But just because you talk about that to them on that day, they're not going to go out and have it. Trust me. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. But I think that's the fear also that is going to happen. But I think we have to let that go and just arm them with good factual evidence-based knowledge, number one. Yeah. But then also to give them a sense of like excitement instead of like fear and trepidation and anxiety, right? Yeah. Think it's so important. And by the way, so I also have a now 21-year-old son. Years ago, he was probably in junior high. I used to work for a company called Uberlube, which is the most amazing silicone lubricant on the planet. I gave him some and said, honey, this is what you're going to use from now on when you have your solo time together. But you know what? He'll come up and ask, Mom, do you have some more Uberlubes? Because talking about it just takes away the stigma. Yeah. And the fear. I mean, we can still, I mean, is it uncomfortable to talk about this with my kids? Fuck yeah, it is. Yeah. But also I think it's so necessary because if we're not doing that and we're hiding or we're just like, or because we're fearful ourselves about what they might do or how they're going to act in the future, that is not giving them good tools. Yeah. The products to use, preventative options. Maybe what to stay away from. Yeah. And what to stay away from. Right. But also too, and I think that, part of like the whole sex ed thing that I think is also something that's really valuable that I don't think that we address is the relationship aspect. Like, how do you actually be in relationship with somebody? Like when you have your first boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, like, we don't talk about that either. No. And I think that is the foundation. Yeah. That is the foundation. And intimacy. Yeah. Intimacy, I think, is the foundation for sex. And in my view, intimacy and sex can be very separate. We can have a lot of intimacy and no sex and vice versa. And my definition of intimacy is emotional connection. It's communication. And it's just enjoying being around somebody just for the sake of like enjoying them and not have any, other, expectations about anything. And I think that when we have those components in place, then that can make for just such, I think, a beautiful sex life. Yeah, I could see that 100%. And going back to what we were saying with doing this with your kids and talking about sex, having a relationship, what dating could look like, what all that could lead to, I think is so important because in my opinion, if you're having those open conversations, you are actually avoiding a lot of crazy shit that could happen. Absolutely. Oh, I mean, 100%. 100%. You're teaching your children how to navigate conversations, what they want, what they need, knowing themselves a little bit better. So if they get into a relationship that's going well, great. If they get in a relationship where maybe that other person's being manipulative, just opens the gate. Yeah. For confidence and being able to make the best decisions. Absolutely. So with all that being said, that's the manual that we need to actually create and say, okay, honey, here you go. These are the basics of what relationship and sex and intimacy looks like. Yeah. And how empowering that could be for kids. Yeah. If we could start from that place. And I feel like it could have helped in so many areas. Yeah. So what if parents need help? I definitely worked with parents on that. If even just giving them some tools, I mean, basic tools. And you know what? It's okay to be afraid. Yeah. It's okay to be nervous. That's all good. I mean, it's actually better than not, quite frankly. Yeah. But still have those conversations and have it gently. And your kids might, mom, don't give up. Keep that line of communication all open always, right? Always. Even if they don't want to hear it right now, I can guarantee you later on, they're going to be so appreciative that you were open and curious and just supportive and respectful of them. Because at some point, I think that they might come back and say, hey, or even not, even if they didn't, just acknowledging like my mom, my dad, my caregiver, they open a conversation for me and it made it so it wasn't going to be so scary. Yeah. Down the line. Which I think is huge. I think that's such a great point. I'm also curious. We talk a lot about getting to know yourself and coaching and the sexual wellness. I'm so curious about individuals that are maybe seeking help because they've gone through a bad situation, maybe an abusive marriage, unfortunate circumstances where they were taken advantage of. Is that something that you help individuals with?
Yeah, and I would say that to your point too, what I focus on with this is like trying to rediscover or maybe discover for the first time, because I guess it's not always rediscovering. Maybe some people haven't discovered these tools yet about what they need for their lives, like what makes them happy, what gives them pleasure. And so I come from a very kind of sensuality pleasure perspective. And it's really important, I think, is to recognize what understanding our body, feeling confident in our skin isn't about sex. It can be, but it's so much broader than that. So just a sense of feeling like I am okay in this body right now. I'm accepting of myself right now. I love myself. I love myself even when someone has tossed me aside or was abusive to me. That can really, really affect our sense of self-worth. Yeah. Right. So for me, I think it's building up just that sense of feeling safe in our bodies, having a sense of presence and connection with ourselves. I'm saying we start with us. Yeah. Because it's not about them. Right. I think it really has to start with us. So when we can develop that and really understand of like how powerful we are and to empower ourselves to the fact that like whether I have a partner or not, I'm fine because I know what I need. I know what I like and I love myself.
Hey, I'm going to pause here for a moment. This episode is brought to you by myself, Lindsay Kaufman-Foran with Coldwell Banker. I am your connection to Utah's luxury lifestyle. Whether you are looking for a modern architectural masterpiece in Salt Lake City or those sweeping valley views in Park City, a mountain retreat, maybe you want to ski in and ski out, I have helped plenty of clients find homes that feel like a reflection of their ambition and taste. From skyline penthouses and foothill estates to ski in, ski out, my focus is high-end service, refined design, and a personalized experience to make every transaction feel effortless. Because in Utah, luxury isn't about flash, it's about freedom, space, quality, and that lifestyle that comes with it. Are you ready to buy, sell, or invest in the Wasatch most exclusive properties? Connect with me, DM me, or you can email me, and that link will be here. Thanks so much. So I think that leads into something that I really wanted to talk to you about, not only just because for the listeners, but for myself. Because I feel like I am in a point in my life and I have such an amazing marriage and partner, and there's so much confidence and all of those good things. Lust, everything I could want is there. And then I started, yeah, right? It's amazing. First time in my life. But then this thing came crashing down on me called perimenopause.
Wait, are you in it or do you have it?
Oh, I'm in it.
I have
perimenopause. Does it go away?
You're like,
I'm
in
fucking
the depths.
in it. You can't catch it.
But if you have our parts, you're all gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly. Fair warning. This shit is fucked up. Anyway, like I would hear people talk about it, and older gals and family members that were like, and I just never stopped to think about it. I'm like, oh, that sounds like it sucks.
Right. Oh, that would happen to me, right?
Yeah, no, it happens.
It's happening.
And it hits hard. Yeah. And I feel like it really has hurt some of my self-confidence because, not only do you deal with things like vaginal dryness, your skin being itchy as hell, hot flashes, then you have like weight gain. And this goes into things too, like as a wife and a partner sexually, like I love to get sexy ass lingerie and do all these things. But then I notice like, okay, I've had this weight gain. I'm not feeling confident to do those.
Your body image is changing.
Yes,
right?
Your body image changes so much. Yeah. And it's so mentally exhausting to try and keep up with it.
Yeah.
And so this is a part that I can't wait to talk about. Perimenopause, menopause, all those things. Because I think women need a lot of support in this area.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're finding now, and so, so I work for a company called Maven Clinic. It's the largest virtual women in healthcare
company in the US.
Okay.
And so that's a lot of the work that I do. I see people who are trying to conceive all the way through postmenopause. So I get to see all of these transitions,
Okay.
all these life transitions, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Probably 2/3 and probably even more so of women, and I might even say 3/4 at this point, if I have a midlife woman who's a client of mine, this is exactly what we're talking about. And some women, believe it or not, don't know that they're in it yet. They don't know what perimenopause is or menopause. And menopause, for all you out there, menopause is actually the day of not having a period for 12 months, for a lot of women is hard because maybe they've had chemical menopause, they had a hysterectomy, they have other issues, they've had birth control. So they don't have a period where they know, oh, 12 months ago, I stopped having a period. So if that's the case, then it's symptomatic. Like
Okay.
what symptoms are you experiencing? That's going to kind of give you a sense of what's going on.
Okay.
Women can start perimenopause as early as their mid to late 30s, believe it or not. And so you think about that time span. So let's say 35,
Yeah.
37, right? I'm 55. And I know because I'm kinesthetically aware. I've been a dancer and a gymnast. So I'm very tuned into my body, and I'm
Yeah.
really grateful for that because I know when I have my last period. And I'm going to have my one day of menopause, probably this coming May.
Yeah.
And then after that is postmenopausal. And then that's when you have fluctuations with, your hormones during perimenopause. But then after menopause and postmenopause, you are now not producing any of that.
Yeah.
So if you don't have, menopause, hormone therapy on board, and there's a lot of discussions around that too. A lot of women don't have a clue of what that even is.
Yeah.
So menopause is definitely having a moment. There's so many books out there now, and it's being talked about so much more. The black box label, the FDA approved that to remove, some of these hormones, and all of that's good.
Yeah.
But there's still so lack of awareness for the majority of women out there. So I feel like that's a lot of what I do is education and just saying here, so I went to my doctor yesterday for my med check. I had all my symptoms, written down. I had what I had currently as my dosages. And I told the doctor, I said, I know that I need to up the dosage. And so that's estradiol, estrogen, progesterone. A lot of women choose to do testosterone. And that's a little bit more of, that's when they say hormone therapies, a lot of people will just assume it's testosterone. When it's we actually produce that in our bodies as well as estrogen and progesterone. But the estrogen and progesterone are kind of the most, and I would say even estrogen more importantly, are the things that when we have the brain fog and the night sweats and all of that, we have receptors, estrogen receptors in every system in our bodies. So you said vaginal dryness, vaginal dryness, painful sex. As we age, our muscles atrophy. That includes our pelvic floor. That includes the vaginal walls.
Yeah.
So if we aren't intravaginal estrogen is going to help with getting the blood flow, keeping things juicy and lubricated. And that doesn't just help for our vaginal health or for sex, but it also helps for our urinary health. Yeah. So we have a lot of erectile tissue that's around our urinary tract. And as that atrophies and shrinks, that can put pressure on the urinary tract. So overactive bladder, you're laughing or you're jumping and, you got a little pee coming out. Yeah. So BV, UTIs, even yeast infections, sometimes depending on your kind of microbiome, because that changes as we age as well. Estrogen is so important for women to have internally to help with all that function.
Yeah.
But
it sounds like it.
Yeah. But then also externally, so systemically. So you're talking brain, heart, musculoskeletal system, like all of our systems have those receptors. And once those are gone, so you think about if women haven't had, you think about let's say our grandmothers and our great grandmothers, for example, most of them were on any type of estrogen therapies, anything like that.
Right.
What's one of the number one killers of women post-menopause is heart disease.
Yeah.
So they're now finding that, estrogen protects the heart.
Yeah.
It protects our musculoskeletal system. There's a lot that goes into that, right? And we could talk all day about that, but I'm just saying for, know your body, pay attention to your symptoms. And if it's weird, make sure you write it down because, we were talking earlier about like depression and anxiety are, I think, rampant during this time. For me, it was anxiety. I was having death dreams for months and months on end. I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is going on with me? But I felt embarrassed.
Yeah.
So I didn't share it. I didn't share it with my partner. And that to me, I think is such a travesty because we need to be talking about every fucking thing that we can be during this time.
Yeah.
Because when we're talking about it and asking for help, we can actually we can have an optimal life. It doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah.
We don't have to suffer.
No.
But I think that's the problem is women are suffering because they're not asking for help. They don't know what to ask, maybe even, but just to reach out and start that process, I think is so incredibly important.
Yeah.
Don't be put on medications that you don't need. Right. Depression medication or anxiety. So, I realized, okay, I'm having these anxiety dreams. When I finally got onto my menopause hormone therapies, my menopause doctor, she's like, oh no, those death dreams are just one of the lovely, symptoms of perimenopause. And first I was like, God damn it. But also I was like, wait a minute. I'm so glad I know this.
Yes.
Because now I know there's a solution to it. And that's part of the whole picture.
Yeah.
That now can be addressed.
Yeah.
And be managed.
Yeah.
And I feel
you don't have the Band-Aid effect.
Exactly.
Right? You're getting it at the core.
Yep.
And at the end of the day is going to be a complete better solution.
Oh, absolutely.
For you yourself as a whole.
Yeah. And for everyone else around us.
Yeah. Ding. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's true.
Yeah. And I just think honestly, us having this conversation, I mean, I want women to have conversations with their besties, with their sisters, with their aunts and friends and coworkers. I mean, we need to have these conversations everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Because it's real.
Yeah.
And it's a vital part of life that probably can predict so much more of how your health is going to be as you age.
Absolutely.
I mean, I hear you say about the, estrogen and the internal walls and all that good stuff. I, for years, was in senior care. I've run assisted livings, home health and hospice.
I have a gerontology degree, so and I've done some similar things as well. So yeah.
Yeah, so all those things. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I can't tell you how many senior females I have worked with that get UTI after UTI that literally causes death.
Right. And if they had estrogen, intravaginal estrogen would solve the issue. I shouldn't say that because I'm not a doctor.
Probably majority.
But the majority of them, I think, would benefit. Yeah. And a lot of the times those UTIs are gone.
Yeah.
Are gone.
I mean, that is something huge. I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah. I
have seen more women pass away from UTIs, going septic.
And it's preventable.
And that's just, I mean, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
So the more this information gets out there, the better.
Yeah.
And the earlier the better. Yeah. Because then you're going to have better longevity.
Absolutely. Well, and then tying this back around to sex, my oldest clients are in Florida. Mm-hmm. He's 85. She's 88. And I've been working with him for over a year. He has a prostate pump because he had prostate surgery.
Okay.
She broke her back and has a lot of physical ailments. They came to me because they wanted to figure out how do they enhance their sexual life. Mm-hmm. And their later partners, they got married maybe 15 years before. She'd never had an orgasm. She's 88.
Wow.
She'd never had an orgasm until I started working with them.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not showing them what to do. Here's the model, but through instruction and through homework and through patience and education, good tools, good mindset, good communication. She had her first orgasm and she was like, why did I not be able to have this until now?
Yeah.
Right. So I think, as we're talking about sex and relationships that, I want to be them. Mm-hmm. I want to have great sex through the longevity, through all of these ages. Does it mean that we have to change our change our perspective of how we see ourselves as we age? Of course.
Yeah.
I can't do the sexual gymnastics I used to do in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I can lament and I can be sad about that, but that's not going to help me now.
Yeah.
So for a lot of the clients, I'm like, maybe you have to grieve your old self to make room for who you want to be now and who you want to be in the future.
Yeah. I like that.
And it's okay. We do have to, aging is, we have to grieve,
Yeah.
right? There is loss, but how do you maximize and enhance what you have within your capabilities?
Yeah.
Right. Because I think if we can see it from that side, that anything's possible. And there's so much more available if we look at it through those lenses instead of like, it's over.
Yeah.
And, we have a lot. I mean, I'm 55. I hope I have a hell of a lot longer to live. And I feel like things are just getting started for me. So I expect to be, banging until, my last day.
I hope so. I want that for myself too.
I know. Well, and we can.
Yeah.
We can. But I also think it's so much about our mindset and what we put behind it. Because I don't know about you, but like, I want to feel vibrant and energetic and love life do we have to deal with, death and illness and depression and things? Of course. But also, am I going to allow that to hinder me in living the life that I want to live for myself?
Yeah. And you shouldn't.
No.
You only have one life.
Absolutely.
You better make that bitch yours.
And change shit up if you need to.
Yeah.
Don't be complacent. I think that's what's so hard is I see so many people in long-term relationships and they've given up. Yeah. They're still going through the motions, but neither of them are happy. Yeah. Neither of them is happy. Neither of them is happy. So why not say, you know what, let's start over. Let's do something. Let's, get off of our ass and make some changes. Yeah. Change is hard. Change is hard for all of us, but oftentimes that's what's necessary to move on and do something better with our lives. Yeah.
Well, and as we were talking earlier, making changes and, the time and effort that can take. I like to go when I'm trying to think about making a change or bringing something new in or developing a new habit. I really like to think about things systematically because that's how I work. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like if someone is struggling in this area, you can help give that system to really increase their overall wellness in this arena.
Absolutely. And we have to start small. Mm-hmm. I think, we're such creatures of like, we want the dopamine hits. We want all of the stuff now and it has to be big and bold and sexy. Right. Yeah. But actually to really sustain our habits, especially to create a new habit, it has to be slow. It has to be consistent. And we have to keep kind of coming back. It's almost like doing a little experiment with ourselves. Yeah. Can I do this every day? Like I started doing morning pages since the beginning of the year. It's where I write 3 pages. As soon as I get up in the morning, get all the brain dump, get all that shit out of my head that's been, in my dreams or before I went to bed. I get that out. And then it allows me then to actually start writing what I should be writing or I want to write or be creative. And this is a new habit that I'm forming, but it takes time and we don't master anything without practice. Yeah. So we have to practice. That includes relationships. Yeah. Good relationships are hard work.
Yeah. They're a lot of hard work.
But people come to me and say we thought it was supposed to be easy. Well, where did you get that? Because it's not. Yeah. And I think also though, that's what's required. And the more that both people are on board, if you're in a relationship, let's figure out what that looks like, right? Mm-hmm. We get to co-create our relationship together. Yeah. What do we want it to look like?
Which is so cool.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, you're developing something together that, is unfortunately not something you see every day when it comes into this type of conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I also think it's never too late. Yeah. I mean, people will come and say to me, I've had women who are in their, my age or that 88-year-old lady never had an orgasm. Yeah. It's never too late. Yeah. It's never too late to actually talk to your partner. Yeah. That might be really scary and it might be very nerve-wracking and embarrassing, whatever. But I think that's what deepens intimacy too, is when we can have hard conversations about things that lead to, it doesn't have to necessarily have a result or resolve that day. But you're starting that conversation, that communication aspect, I think is so important in
Yeah.
any relationship
Yeah.
that we have, you know?
Well, and I'm assuming it would bring a stronger intimacy,
100%.
having that conversation and being able
100%.
to connect that way.
Yeah, and think about if you're connecting that way, then how much more can you connect sexually?
Yeah.
And how much better that could be as
Mhm.
well, right?
Yeah.
And then going back to
Ooh.
making sure that we know our pleasure and then that we can really feel comfortable and brave in expressing that to our partners as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just really a full circle.
It is. It is.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
And I just feel like with all that being said and being able to embrace this piece of life, I mean, your overall happiness is just going to be so much better.
Yeah. Because sexual health is overall health.
Yeah.
And when we have all of that, I mean, nothing can ever be fully in balance, but
Right.
the most that we can work toward that end,
Mm-hmm.
why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, and how wonderful. I think some people, they want to be unhappy for whatever reason, you know, like it gives them some
Yeah.
reason. They have some payoff out of it. I don't know about you, but like I want the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, I want joy. I want vibrancy. We can't be happy every moment of the day, but can we find little pleasure in everyday life, non-sexual pleasure,
Mm-hmm.
that allows us to be connected to ourselves, that we're slowing down, that we're being aware, that we're being present with our bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and that we're being present in our environment. And even if it's fleeting, even if it's for a moment, can we harness those little pieces
Yeah.
throughout the day? Because I think that as you build on that makes for a more grand and expansive life.
Oh, yeah. I would agree. In fact, I have every year I do 5 specific focus goals for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my goals for 2026 is to practice being present. I mean, even just little things,
Yeah.
you know, like going and turning a doorknob and like thinking through things and understanding and being present with my thoughts, my feelings, when I'm with other people, you know, not being distracted.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into it. And that's something that I'm really working on because I feel like life is such a hustle go that I've lost some of that.
Yeah.
And that you feel like you're on autopilot.
Absolutely. And I
Mhm.
think I think, you know, especially if you're a parent,
Yeah.
you're a busy mom,
Yeah, you're going 100 miles an hour.
right? Where do you carve that time out?
Yeah.
So like I'll talk to moms a lot and say, okay, self-care isn't just bubble baths and champagne or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you talked about. Having those little moments, sitting down and having a cup of tea for 5 minutes,
Mhm.
sitting outside, being in the sun, you know, listening to the birds or the stream, or like, you know, taking all of that, the sensuality of
Yeah.
life in that context, and then just being present.
Yeah.
Because
I love
most of us are either thinking about what happened, you know, a couple minutes ago or yesterday, or we're looking at the future.
Yeah.
And when we're in that space, we're not in that rest and digest. We're not in our parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah.
We're not able to feel safe to be open and vulnerable. And that's really where pleasure lies, I think,
Mhm.
is within that space.
Yeah. I love that. And something else that I love about you that I'm going to throw out here
Yes.
is not only do you coach through these things, but you practice what you preach.
I do. Where is this going?
And you're, yeah, because I know that you're taking a bold risk to keep up with your own thoughts and what you're doing and how you're executing and aging.
Mhm.
So tell me what you got.
Oh boy. Well, so it was this probably the day before yesterday. I got this invitation to be a part of, or I would say be a part, to be contestant. That sounds like a weird participant.
Participant. There we go.
For Ms. Health and Fitness 2026.
It's amazing.
And I think, you know, I don't want to like, I've worked out my entire life.
Yeah.
I've strength trained. I was a junior Olympic gymnast. I was a dance instructor. Like I've always been very much, you know, physical, athletic, but also from a sensual space.
Mhm.
And it's not about big muscles and getting ripped and getting, you know, it's about sensuality. It's about suppleness. It's about, and at my age 55, I am going to be postmenopausal by this in this year,
Yeah.
I will be postmenopausal. I want to let women know, like, you can be strong and soft. You know, you can be vibrant and sensual and dynamic in this time in life.
Yeah.
And why not embrace that and own that, and then really be able to like be a model for other women?
Yeah.
Because I think strong is sexy.
It is.
Strong is sexy. But I also think strength isn't just like how big are your muscles compared to mine.
Yeah.
I think strength is also about presence, and it's about softness and awareness and being connected to yourself and to source and, you know, community and all of those things.
Yeah. All of it. I think it's so motivating to see that. And I love that you're doing that. I'm so excited.
Well,
I'm going to watch your whole journey.
Well, I'll tell you too, because people have to vote for me. So
Yes,
I'll
we
let you
love that. Yeah.
But the last time I did something like a fitness goal like this was my second son was probably 6 months old, and I had a best friend who is an ER nurse, and she and I decided to train because we were feeling, you know, after 2 kids, not feeling the best, right? Kind of just frumpy and whatever.
Yeah.
We trained for the rock and roll marathon. And I lived in California at the time.
Yeah.
In San Diego, rock and roll marathon to sponsor the Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
Yeah.
And so that was my first and only marathon. I'll never fucking do it again. Body's changed in ways that I never expected, but that was such an amazing goal because that wasn't a bucket list item for me.
Yeah.
But she was on board. Her nurses and doctors were on board, except she and I were the only ones who stuck it out. Everyone else bailed except for us.
Yeah.
But it was such an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah.
And this was in my, let's say, mid to late 30s. So 2 decades later, I just feel, why not have another goal to really be able to like just see what my body can do and not be afraid and push myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to the journey, no matter however it ends.
Or however it ends. Yeah. It's a journey, and it's something bold to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing and it's empowering. And one other thing I really love about it, just to be fully transparent and honest here, is that we live in a society that everybody's just trying to do whatever they can to look young, be young.
Yep.
And to me, it shows an opportunity to embrace aging and what you can do in different stages of your life. Like you said, accomplishing this at 55, taking the risk to do it, being willing and vulnerable to even just like go into that space, I think is amazing. And I think it's very enlightening and helps other people understand that, we're aging, we're getting older, and we're going through all of these changes.
Yeah.
But there's so many fun opportunities that we get to take and get to challenge ourselves.
Absolutely. And that's lifelong, I hope anyway.
Yeah.
Right? I hope. Whether it's our physical health, it's our sexual health, it's our emotional health, like it's all of it.
Yeah.
And I think the cool thing about being at this age too is like we kind of, well, I'm going to speak for myself. I don't give a shit about what other people think anymore, or living up to someone else's expectations. It is what I want for myself.
Yeah.
And that's really empowering. That I didn't do that for a long time in my life.
Yeah.
I was a people pleaser and all that. And I don't have that anymore at this age. And I think there's a huge just sense of freedom that comes from, you know, being in this space and this time in life.
Yeah.
Which I think is really empowering.
I think so too. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love it. That's what this whole podcast is about. That's why it's the salty truth of, you know, everything that we go through and need to share and can support each other and all that good stuff.
Because it's real, right? And why hide? Why pretend? Why put a mask on? Because all that's doing is I feel it's just like alienating us even further from being vulnerable is hard.
Yeah.
Being soft and opening our hearts is scary.
Yeah.
But if we can do that and see what lies on the other side of that, like how beautiful life can be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And why not?
Yeah.
Give it all we got.
I know. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. So if this is stirring anything up in anybody, and they're going through these challenges, what would your advice to them be?
Ooh, come and see me. Reach out and have a
That's
conversation.
what I would
with me.
say.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just be okay to get uncomfortable asking questions. Be okay to advocate for yourself. Know your worth. Know that you're worth asking. Know that you're worth not having to suffer, especially if you're in this time of life. Like, you can feel better. You can feel better. But it also means being brave.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be the biggest barrier for people to get over that hump of reaching for the phone,
Yeah.
you know, or knocking on someone's door.
Yeah.
But I think that's what we need. We need community.
Yeah. Community.
Especially with women, we need to be in community.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, as the podcast is called Salty Truth,
Mm-hmm.
Erica, what is your salty truth?
What is my salty truth? My salty truth is that I'm on a mission to have the best orgasms of my life in this stage and beyond.
I love it. I love it. That is the best salty truth I've heard yet. Hence, sex and wellness.
There you go.
Okay, that was hilarious.
It's true.
It's so true.
It's true. And I hope a lot of other women will feel the same way too.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you during this time, a lack of orgasm is not uncommon. Muted orgasms are not uncommon. So like I am taking, like literally, I am doing what I can. I'm researching, and I'm asking for help.
Yeah.
You know, and why not? Like, why not experience the most pleasure that I can have? And I'm the one who has agency to be able to do that for myself.
Yeah.
Because again, it's about me. I'm in charge of my pleasure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not my partner. It's me.
Yeah. And you say a lot. You have to give yourself permission.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes that's what I have to give my clients too. And maybe that's the first time they've heard it.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as that happens and that light bulb goes off, then I know, like, you know, this is the work.
Yeah.
And that's their truth now that they get to go and explore.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, while we're here, how can people get a hold of you and give some of your deets?
Yes. Okay. Let's see. So I probably the easiest way for people to get a hold of me, I'd love for people to email me. So I'd love if you want to ask me any questions, and I'll spell it out. My email is Erica, ERICA at sexcoachslc, like yes in saltlakecity.com. I have a website Sex Coach SLC. I'm also going to be doing some in-person workshops. I do a lot of my signature program called the Sensual Salon. So if anyone out there who wants to host one in their own home, I do a lot of that work. And I also do a lot of community work. And in fact, I know today you guys can't come because it'll all be past, but I'm going to be doing a series of workshops at Continuum Mind Body Collaborative up in the Sugar House area. Let's see, February, March, and April. I'm doing a 3-part series. It is the first Thursday of the month from 6 p.m. to 7:30. And then I'm doing a couples workshop in May, also the first Thursday of the month. And you can reach out to Continuum Mind Body Collaborative and get more information on that. But then just call me, email me. I'd love to be able to help you. And also, I did write a book about 6 years ago now, called Feel Sexy Again, The Ultimate Guide to Reclaiming Your Sexual Confidence, which is a really big mouthful. And it's a very tiny guide, but it's packed full of really good information about just how to reclaim your sexual confidence and just reclaim your confidence in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Well, Erica, thank you so much for coming on Salty Truth.
Such a pleasure.
So amazing to have you. And I thank you for the gift. I got to get your book. Thank you so much. As well as my lube.
Yes. Uber Lube is
Uber
the
Lube.
best on the planet. I would say it's the eighth wonder of the world.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
You'll have to try it out and let me know what you think.
I will.
Yes, please do.
You'll get a message from me and be like, oh, she did it. I'm
love
giving
it.
permission to use my lube.
Yay. Oh, I'm so proud. Thank you. This has been amazing.
Yes, truly. Thank you so much. And I feel so blessed to have you on today. And this is such great knowledge, not just for myself, but for the audience and everybody out there that needed this. So
Yeah.
I appreciate what you do. And I think it's highly important.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll have more opportunities for some community collaborations in the future.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
More to come on that.
I can't weak well, but I'd like, there you go.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you. This has been amazing.
Yes, as well. Thank you.
All right, Salties, that is a wrap up of the episode today. And I hope that this was so enlightening and that you were able to get some amazing pieces out of this, because I'm ready. I know what I need to do, and we all need to embrace our sexual wellness 100%. And like Erica said, get an orgasm. Salty truth.
Amen.
But 100%, we all need this talk. And if you are in it, you know you're in it. And it is time to be honest with yourself about your needs, who you are, what you want. And damn it, baby, you are worth it. So I hope this sat with you today. If this is something that is resonating with you, please let me know. If you have a salty truth that you feel like could go into this, send it to me. I would love to share it. And also, if you feel like there is somebody in your life that would benefit from this episode, please share it. As always, like, subscribe, follow, all those good things. I want to continue doing these podcasts, and I need you as my audience. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you all soon. Thank you.